Joined by the CEO of Ford Motor Company South Africa, Jeff Nemeth. Thank you for coming in tonight. Your response, because it seems like the anger is rising, and you're accused of covering up the cause of somebody's death.
Well, I think there's two different things that are going on here. Yesterday, we announced a recall for the Ford Kuga, a safety recall, a voluntary safety recall, where we've been able to ascertain that we are aware of 39 cases where an engine fire occurred, and what we've been able to determine is it's an overheating condition that's caused by a lack of coolant flow through the engine. When that lack of coolant flow it reaches the engine that's running, it causes a crack in the cylinder head. Oil leaks on.
Mr. Nemeth, with all due respect, I think people have been following this story because it's in the public interest, but the bigger claim is the cover-up of somebody's death, the cause of that death in a Ford Kuga.
I just wanted to make a distinction that those cars that we recalled were an engine compartment fire. We know the cause. We're recalling them so that we can repair any damage that may have occurred to their cooling system to ensure that they remain safe to drive. Okay, there's a separate issue, which is the Jimmy issue, and the reason I'm saying it's a separate issue is because they've been connected in the media through the Jimmy family's what they've been saying, and I just wanted to make sure that it was clear that the Jimmy fire was not an engine fire. We've inspected the vehicle. Their own expert, David Klatzow, has inspected the vehicle, and he's come out and said these are not related incidents, that the engine compartment fire and the causes that we've determined for that engine compartment fire did not occur in the Jimmy vehicle.
Are you sure of that? Because David Klatzow was at that press conference today where they were accusing Ford of a cover-up. He was saying things like, you're not handing over photos, you're not handing over initial reports, you haven't cooperated with the family in that way.
Well, we've submitted our investigation. We received access to the vehicle in December 5th of just 2016, so only a little over a month ago. After repeated requests for access to that vehicle, we were finally granted access in December, and we flew our expert out from Detroit to ensure that we understood what happened in the Jimmy vehicle. We want to make sure everybody, all the investigators, there's a formal investigation, and that formal investigation concludes, if possible, what happened in that vehicle. And because the fire consumes evidence, actually, we may never know exactly what happened in that car. However... But
can I stop you here? Because you're admitting that there's still an investigation, still a possibility that something happened that you weren't sure of, and yet you're saying categorically it's unrelated and we do not take liability.
What I'm saying is it was not caused by an engine fire. We do know that. By looking at the vehicle, and I did hear David Klatzow on I think it was Money Talk, did say that it was not an engine fire. His words, if I remember them correctly, were you could sell the engine. It was untouched. And so we're confident that the problem that we've seen with these other 39 cases is completely unrelated as far as the cause of the fire. So there is evidence that is still being collected by the police, and we have submitted evidence to them. They've asked for a wiring diagram, which we've also offered to submit. These are requests from Dr. Klatzow, and we just recently got a request from the police in that matter as well. I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, and we will be submitting all of the information that the police are requesting.
I think even if what you're saying is true, what's leaving a bad taste in people's mouths is it seems Ford is hell-bent on not taking responsibility, on separating these things out. Do you accept that the car may have been responsible? This wasn't an act of nature. Somebody died in a fire in one of your cars. And it sounds like you haven't rushed to the aid of the family, offering compensation for life, the things that people would expect from an empathetic company.
Mm-hmm. I think what we haven't ruled out that the vehicle was the cause of the fire. We haven't ruled out that it was accidental. We haven't ruled out external forces. All these things are still in play. And what we want to do is get to the truth, get to the bottom of it. And if it becomes apparent that the vehicle was the cause of the death, or the fire was from a fault in the vehicle, then of course we will make right by that.
If the vehicle was the cause of the death, the family has been waiting for a long time. The reputational damage has been huge. How did you, as the CEO, allow for this disintegration in the relationship with this family, that they are holding press conferences and you are responding?
Well, I think it's the first time I met the family was in December.
Why did it take so long? Because it happened in December 2015. Or is that
2016?
Okay.
Yeah, it happened in December 4th, 2015, I believe.
So why did it take a year to meet the family?
Well, we were working with the family. They elected to work through counsel. So we were through that whole time. We were talking to their attorney. I requested that, at the appropriate time, that we meet with the family. And our attorney decided the appropriate time was in December. So that's the first time I met him.
It sounds, and it seems to me, I'm sorry to butt in, that Ford is using the courts when the court of public opinion is running amok.
Right. Well, it's certainly the situation has gotten out of hand, and we would have rather obviously solved this much more quickly than it's been solved. And as we move forward, the good thing is we have met with them. We're talking to them. They were at the press briefing yesterday, the press release, or the press conference we had yesterday. So I believe that the interaction with the family will continue and accelerate from this point on. And so I'm hoping that we get to a place where we're both satisfied with the outcome in short order.
Another issue is 4,500 people driving Ford Kugas that have lost value. If I was driving one, I'm now being told to take it in, it will be fixed, I'll get a courtesy car, pay a deposit, maybe you'll help with that. I envisage several calls to get that done, delays, dealing with mechanics who then tell me the car is fine. I don't think that many of these people can have peace of mind, given the huge cost of this reputational damage. Would it not have been cheaper to say, we give you all a brand new Ford? It just seems like crazy crisis management and a lack of an adequate response to the seriousness of the worry in people's minds that their car can catch fire.
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, I have to emphasize that with the safety recall actions, and we believe there'll be a second round, but now that we understand the root cause of the vehicle's fires, with this safety recall action, these vehicles are safe to drive. So it's important that our customers get their vehicle into the Ford dealership as soon as possible and have it looked at.
I'm talking about something psychological. You can say they're safe to drive. Are you going to personally oversee the mechanic who fixes that? And would you still drive one of these vehicles after being told, don't worry, it's going to be safe to drive?
Yes, I would drive a vehicle, absolutely. I'd put my family in a vehicle. What's really important is that we'll work with the customers, right? These are our Ford customers, and that's important to us. And we'll be working with them on a case-by-case basis. Our dealers will be working with them. If they want to get into if they want to get out of their Kuga into a new Ford, we'll try to figure out a way to get them into a new vehicle. I understand that our customers have lost faith in the Kuga and maybe the one that they're driving. And we will try to help them with that situation.
All right. Well, we appreciate that you were willing to come in this evening. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. That was Ford Motor Company South Africa CEO Jeff Nemeth. Peter and Vabakshni will have all your news headlines shortly. Stay with us.